say 1994, suddenly I went back, like 25 years, and recently, just last year, in fact, we have completed our 25th year and celebrated and had a whole year of Silver Jubilee celebrations. It was fantastic, and 13 institutions as of yesterday. As of today, we have 15. We have just added one Indira National School in Parandwadi, and we also added a junior college, Indira Junior College and Academy in Parandwadi, because now that is our campus that we want to grow. Growth has just come, by. I believe personally that if you don't run after something, you can achieve the things better. The minute you run after something, you are forgetting everything else and you're just running after that one thing and you forget to enjoy the journey. For me, it's been a journey of enjoyment for the last 25 years. I've enjoyed every moment of this 25 years journey completely, and I'm sure till I'm associated with this, till I live. Of course, I'm the founder, so I will be associated with till I die, till my last breath. I'm going to enjoy every moment, and I make it a point to see that whoever comes in, touch with me, whoever comes a part of my team in Indira, they all enjoy the journey. And the biggest success of Indira from day one till today has been the people. The people who joined this journey. I think we have probably the highest retention rate, maybe 90s is the retention rate. People who came never went. I have so many people who are here, right from my peon who joined me, the first only peon who joined me 25 years back, who worked with me right from sticking the envelopes, that had to go out for admissions. He was there with me. He is also with me today. His marriage happened on our campus, on the rented campus. His kids, his kids' naming ceremonies happened on campus. I mean, that's how, we brought people in, and whoever came in, they were a family. And we have so many schemes at Indira which are very unique to Indira, probably, and which probably as a woman entrepreneur, she brings a different kind of caring to the group. Yesterday I was sitting with my 15-year-old son, and he was telling me that I have never seen any woman who is as tough, as you, yet who's as soft as you. I mean, if it comes from your 15-year-old son, I think it's the best, because he knows me in and out. He's seen me since childhood, he's seen me at home, he's seen me at work, he's seen me everywhere, he's seen me with the people. And I just realized, that that's how people look at me. They call me the Iron Woman, at the same time. But at the same time, they know me at the group, that they come to me with anything in the middle of the night. I'm ready to go and sit in the hospital and hold the hand of, one of my peon's mother. I've done it, till she feels good. She's hospital, that I'm there to take care of you, whatever happens to you. You, your son, your family will not be left if you're not there. Now, this kind of thing when you give to people, that whoever comes and works with me, they have that, complete confidence that we are not going to be let down ever in our lives. So I think that is the major, success USP, that getting people, giving them, that feeling that they belong, and you belong to them. It's not just they belonging to you. They have to have the feeling that even I belong to them. So I've attended, little programs in people's houses, they are homes, they are little homes. If they bought a bike, they have come to me first. If the child is born, they brought the child to me first. And that is the reason I've not been able to give a lot of time to my social life. Like, a lot of people came to me to be a part of this organization and that organization, where people just get together and, they talk about business, or they talk about, solidarity and everything. And I said, no, I have my own world. This is my world. This is my solidarity. These are the people. And that is the success of Indira, that people who came, stayed back, are with me. There are people who left for various reasons, who have come back after 2-3 years and said that we just cannot get this environment anywhere. I think that has been, the major run through in the last 25 years, and how coming 2 years, starting from there, building 13 institutions, now 15 institutions. We started, with 2 people working. Today we have a staff of 1200 plus, and nearly 13,000 students this year. That's the journey. When this story started, actually, I had never imagined or dreamt that I'm going to get into education. The story's got a very different background where it started. And I was working with the Enron Group. You've heard of the Enron Group. It was very major. India was going to come up with the biggest gas company and biggest power station in India. And I fortunately got a job with them in a very good position as, director for their environment and director for their community relations of the people who were going to be in the villages that were going to be displaced where the company was coming up, the gas company was going to come up. And I was reporting at that time directly to the Energy Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Appasaheb Dharkar. He also happened to be the Minister of Education for Maharashtra. At that time, my brother Chetan, which you all of course know, who's also been one of your mentors, Chetan was the one who was seeking an MBA admission. At that time, there were only 2 colleges in Pune for MBA. There was the best one was Symbiosis, the other was a Pumba, Pune University MBA department. So he applied, obviously, number 1 was Symbiosis, everybody had to get in there, and he just missed, his name was in the waiting list somewhere, down 8 or 9 in the waiting list. And obviously, we didn't want, like to wait if the waiting list clears or no. So Appasaheb, being the education minister, we approached him, saying that Chetan's admission is there, and Pune University MBA department came under government and it came under him. So we went to him. So he said, of course. And he just called one call to the Vice Chancellor, and the Vice Chancellor said, please send your brother and we'll get the admission done. So Chetan went over there and he got the admission done. After about a week or so, his name cleared up and it came into Symbiosis list. So he was in a dilemma that minister has put in a word at Pumba, and now my name is there. So my mom gave him a very good advice. She said, go with the people who have stood by you when you didn't have anybody. If he has used his good word for your admission, you please stick around in Pumba. Now it is up to you to give the best, whether you do it in Symbiosis or whether you do it in Pumba. These are the kind of advices my parents have always given, and it really helped us in our lives. So he went there, and we were very close with Mr. Dharkar, being the education minister and energy minister. His family and my family, we were very close. Especially me, I was very close to him and his wife. He had a British wife, and she and me really shared amazing. She was even older to my mother, but we shared fantastic times together. We just clicked. And the same year, that was in 93, sorry, 92, government of Maharashtra privatized education. So they opened up education to private parties, so a lot of people came into education, and in 93 the act was formalized. So Appasaheb said at that time that whoever was close to them, humko college nikalna hai. You one college, you one college, like that. People were just asked to start colleges. That time this AICT and all this problems or this whole rigmarole was not there. So we just overnight, decided to start a college. And Mr. Navle, I don't know, you've heard of Mr. Navle of Siagar Group of Institutes. He was a very close family friend, because my sister, who was an air hostess in Air India, she was doing her MPM that time, Masters in Personal Management, from Bharati Vidyapit, where Mr. Navle was there, working at Bharati Vidyapit. And so Mr. Navle was a good family friend and all, and Mr. Navle started his college in 93. And because of my proximity to the education minister, people like Mr. Navle, Mr. Karar, everybody used to come to me and say that please get our file cleared. We want our file to be cleared from the education minister. And I was a very straightforward woman. I said, okay, come, let's go. And then Appasaheb said that it's now time, 1 year is gone, now we have to start our college. So me and Appasaheb and all of us came together, and we formed a trust overnight where Navle sir really helped us and all, and we started the college. The college just started, I was working with Enron that time. So I was with Enron and doing the college and just running around, between Mumbai and Pune and my office in Guhagar, because the company was, the Enron project was coming up in Konkan over there. So I had my office there. And I never imagined, because when we got the permission to start the college and all, we started the college. And we got the list of, students who had not got admission in Pumba. Because of uncle, we got their entire list of 600 students. So we sent out, letters. I still remember me and my dad, Chetan, and that peon. We were sitting in the office and literally, sticking the letters and sending it out. That time there was no IT or, mails or anything going through. And when the letters went out in a week's time, people started coming in, calls started coming in. There was a flood. We never realized that for 60 students, there were 500 students waiting out there. And at that time, I realized, that there is so much to do in this. And I myself was pretty young that time. Chetan was just doing his MBA. I'm just 5 years older to Chetan. So me and the students who were close by, we were like, I realized the youth, there's so much that I can do for this. And then at that time, Chetan and me, there was no turning back from there. Then from next year onwards, all these PGDM programs and, everything was so easy. Well, it just started, and I gave up my job in Envor. I resigned in 6 months because the college needed me full time, completely. Actually, we have a lot of tie-ups like that with different universities. We have a tie-up with the Lyon University in France. We have a tie-up with the university in Asia Pacific in Malaysia. We have a couple of tie-ups in Dubai. We have a tie-up with the university in Denver, with the Denver University. So I feel, that going global is not the answer actually, but getting global, know-how into India is important. And that's the reason I have never expanded outside. We did get a lot of opportunities to expand outside, but we said no. I love India. Whatever I want to do over here. But I certainly want to get global know-how from outside into India. I certainly want my students to go and experience at least a week or 10 days. Students who have come to us from villages. They've never come out of their village and their city, they come to Pune, and from here I want them to go abroad, at least an experience and get an exposure of what is the world outside. Otherwise, how will they know what is there? So we have all these tie-ups, and a lot of our students go to Dubai, they go to Malaysia, they go to Denver, they go to a lot of places, to France, and now keeping all this in mind, we've also just recently opened up our Dubai office last week only, and taking all education from here to Dubai, and also getting students from abroad into India. Africa, the GCC countries, the SAARC nations, and I think Dubai is a great place because everybody from all these nations is working in Dubai. So they want their children, to go out and study, but everybody cannot afford to go to Europe or to USA. So India is a very good choice for them to come to, but to market them and target them, getting them from Dubai, I think, to India is a good way, and also taking my students out to Dubai, because the way Dubai, UAE is growing. I mean, if you go there, you feel, you are there, from that place, and you know how that place has gone, from camels to the tallest buildings. You see, it was not just a camel hump. It's now, the building humps, you don't know where. Now the tallest building of the world, 300 floors, is coming up over there, twice the size of Burj Khalifa. I think there's a lot that we can get from a country like that, and a lot from us that we can give to people out there and to the nations around over there. So a lot of exciting things out, on Indira's front, and I think with me and Chetan at the helm, we really don't leave it, that even one day is not exciting. Every moment has to be exciting, like. A housewife. A housewife with at least 6 kids, who I would bring up in a way that they would be an asset to this world today, and that was always my dream, always. I never wanted anything else, and see how destiny is, that's the only thing that evades you. I'm a single mother today. I have 2 wonderful sons, and if this not from the day one, I only wanted to get married, have kids, and be an asset to society, as a woman, and I try to put all that even today. I mean, I love cooking. I love everything that a woman loves to do. I love cooking all the time. I love taking care of kids, I love sewing, the little things, I love doing all that. I love setting up house. I love decorating. I love all that. But just see, it's like that. And that's the reason I'm not much into social life. I have a very small social circle. I only enjoy my life and my parties with them. Everything else, I mean, being, at my level, I get invited to every social affair in over here in India. I don't go anywhere. I give my time to my house, to my kids, because I feel that after me, I'm going to leave, besides the Indira kids, all of you who are here today, I know you all are doing so well. That is my, my contribution to society, to the world. But my 2 children also, who can take this legacy and who can take this beyond to the youth, keep continuing to do it for the youth, and for society. So I give my time to my house, my kids, love being a woman. So if not this, I would love being a woman 24/7. So that's it. I mean, you can't pen them down into 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. I have felt that from day one in my life, people talk about principles and values and everything, but these keep changing. What my values were at 20 are not my values today, and will not be my values later on. I have always believed in changing my values, my principles, my philosophies as the time demands. Because if I would think what I thought 20 years back, I would not be able to give the best of to today, to my today. And if I'm going to be rigid, I will not be able to move forward, and I'll not be able to stay. Being in education, I have to be so flexible. I have to be appealing to my teachers, who are my, like colleagues, who are my age, and to my students who are practically 30 years younger to me. I have to be with all of them. So if I go with rigid philosophies, rigid values, it's not going to work. if I tell my students, I mean that, okay, I mean for me, everybody, when I go out and, if I'm going out somewhere for a meeting or something and education for the first time, everybody is shocked because they do not imagine a woman, as modern as her can be an educationist in the very first place. Somebody meets me in the evening somewhere, I'm in some pub partying with the shortest possible skirt. They cannot imagine that she's the same woman we met in the day and she's now over here. When I go to a pub, it's just last week I was there at this very well-known Urbo, in Pune. It was there, and I went up. It was my friends and me. We had a girl gang of about 9 of us, and we were partying up there. And then there's this one student who comes up. He's a student of ours, and now he's the one who organized a party below over there. He organizes parties, and he does that. One student by the name of Chetan or somebody, and he comes and tells me that, ma'am, मेरे से गलती हो गया है, and our students are standing outside, but the manager is not allowing them in. I said, कुछ तो गलती तुमने किया है ना, तो बोल दो क्या किया. He said, no, I said they're all about 21, but they're not about 21. They're about 18. I said, but you know the rule that about 21, I mean, only they can be served alcohol. About 18, they cannot be, So he said, no, please, you come and talk to them at least for 2 minutes. So I'm, I'm in my evening attire, obviously. So I go down, all our students are standing over there. And I say that, let me try my best to get you in, all of them. And I tell the manager, at least shut off the alcohol for half an hour, let them just come and dance in with me. I will be with them and just do it. And that guy shuts off the alcohol for half an hour in Urban on a Saturday night. Our students come in, they dance for half an hour and then they go out. So I mean, that is a trust that you have. Now, if I would have said, no, this is not possible, what are you all doing outside a pub? I am partying in a pub, so obviously my students are allowed to party there, but as long as you all are, within the limits of what the law says, I'm completely with it. And there are so many students all over India, all over the world. I go and have reunions in London, in Boston, wherever I go, in Dubai, we all sit down and drink together, we eat together, we party together. Now, if I were rigid and I would say that I'm an educationist, so I'm not supposed to do it with them, I'm teaching them the wrong things, because the truth has to be kept in front of them. You're not allowed to drink inside your college premises, not allowed to smoke, or you're absolutely fine, even I don't do it. But outside there's a different world waiting for all of us. And if you want to be happy, you have to be part of all these worlds. So my philosophies, my principles have all changed. But what stands out, I tell everybody, is be true to yourself. If you're true to yourself, you can be true to everybody else. Don't cheat anybody ever in life. If there's something that you cannot do, please say that you just cannot do it. There is no harm in that. Just say that you can't do it. There are so many of these little things that matter and that become your philosophy, that becomes, like your way of life. And they keep changing. You change. I mean, it's not that I'm not going to speak lies. I do speak lies in my life. But I speak lies, but there are so many people's happiness depending on that lies. I do it. So I don't tell people that don't speak lies. Do it, but don't do it to cheat somebody. Don't do it to spoil somebody's life, the most important thing, my philosophy yesterday has been that just be happy through all the phases of life. I've gone through ultimate, things in my life. I've gone through breakups, I've gone through problems, I've gone through financial crisis, everything. But I've always been happy, because I feel that being sad is not going to change anything. In fact, being happy, I can find a solution at least. 100% it's there, and we all have accepted it as educationists, and we're trying our best to do it. So as far as our programs go, like we are more, well known for our management programs. So we do have a lot of, like skill-based programs that we are adding into our curriculum, and we are seeing that, it's trying to cover that gap. But anyway, let me tell you, 100% nobody can cover that gap, because if you have to go and work in a particular company, you have to be, knowledgeable and known with that company. So whatever you go with, you go with everything, that company is still going to find some lacuna in you. So tying up, we do have tie-ups with ICICI company, HDFC, Tata Technologies and all, because there we run their programs with us, so that the students going there, they are much aware about the company. But then you can't do that with everybody, So any student going out, and I think industry also has got to understand this. Instead of just shouting and cribbing all the time, this halla bulla is there every year. The skill set is not there, there is a gap in the skill sets and everything. I think it's going to be there, and I think every industry must take up that, the students come, give them some training. From our side, if they are going to come, tell us what they want from us. If they come and tell us before, we'll try to see that we inculcate it into it. We are trying our best. Everybody is trying our best, but I cannot say, that yes, it's 100% covered or it's going to be there. And all these skill universities and all that, blah, blah, it just doesn't work. Let me tell you. Every industry has their own requirement, and they have to see that they inculcate the people who are going, youngsters, the newcomers, the freshers, they have to inculcate them. My major challenge, honestly, to be is financial. I'm always financially, because growing, we grew at a pace which was, unknown. There were years where we grew like 100% in a year. So financial, and I'm a big risk taker. So my very first day, with people, I never face challenges. I rarely face challenges with people. I found people standing by me, and whoever was not, I've tried to win them over. I've won over people, and who I couldn't, I just left them. I always believe that ye nahi rahega, koi aur aa jayega. But that's how we are, because it's same thing applies to everybody else. If I'm not going to be doing something for somebody else will do it for that person. This is how the world works. जिंदगी किसी के लिए रुकती नहीं है, दुनिया किसी के लिए रुकती नहीं है, वक्त किसी के लिए रुकता नहीं है. The same applies to you and me. If I wouldn't be giving this interview today, there would be somebody else giving it to you. So it's that the world just goes on. So challenges are going to come. For me, being an entrepreneur, and for all young entrepreneurs, let me tell you, finance is going to be your biggest challenge. And people who come to me today, they do find youngsters the same thing, financial. The biggest challenge for entrepreneurs is financial. As a human being, well, my challenge, I really cannot find any challenge, because after so many years of challenges and facing things in your life, you learn to take every challenge as a part of life. And in fact, the time comes, for me today, कि अगर 2 दिन कुछ गलत नहीं हो या कुछ यहाँ का वहाँ नहीं हो, तो मुझे लगता है ये क्या हो रहा है. Something is wrong, something is really wrong. इतना शांत और इतना अच्छा नहीं चल सकता ज़िंदगी में रोज़ कुछ ना कुछ तो होना चाहिए, और फिर ज़िंदगी is interesting, it is beautiful, and now I love my life like that. People tell me so many times, you have so many properties, sell off one, you have financial problems. I said, अगर sell करूँगी तो if I have money, then मेरी ज़िंदगी का सभी problem खत्म हो जाएगा, because ज़िंदगी में दूसरा कोई problem है ही नहीं. उतना रहने दो, let it be, and let me support the economy of India. Banking को support करने दो. I am the one with 25 years who has taken huge loans from our banks. आज तक कभी NPA नहीं हुआ है, एक भी account NPA नहीं हुआ है. We have repaid every single rupee, and we keep doing that. That's my first major thing. So I stand proud with that. And I want to tell all youngsters, that without money, you cannot put up your businesses, you can't become entrepreneurs. And that money, everybody, किसी के सबके माँ बाप कोई पैसे छोड़ के नहीं गया है. We have to raise our own funds. Of course, we were very lucky that parents gave us this land. This land belonged to my parents. But money has been a struggle always. But I've never let it go to me or my head or my entire team. We've all worked through that. We've all found ways through that, So that's why getting people on your side, giving people that side of you, which makes them happy, takes you through a lot of challenges and problems in life. First, of course, to everybody, women and everybody, don't give up. That's the first thing, because giving up is so easy. Continuing and going and crossing that hurdle is the difficult part. So just don't give up. There is a beautiful world, after that hurdle. Find it. It's waiting for you. So just don't ever give up. And like I said always, be honest, be truth. If you cannot do something, accept it that you cannot do it. Just because somebody else has done it and they have achieved it doesn't mean that you can do it and you can achieve it. Find what you can do. Find your path. Find what is ideal for you. Find what is good for you and follow that. Just because somebody else has achieved it and somebody else has reached there is not necessary that you have to give. Today's youth have to understand that, what your qualities are, what you are meant for, you have to align yourself with that. You cannot align yourself and want to align with something that you are not just because your peers have done it, just because somebody else is doing it. That is so important. And once you realize that this is what I am, you realize what you can do. You realize up to where you can go. You realize what you can be and what you can give and what you can achieve. So understanding yourself. Firstly, look inside yourself, all the youth and women especially. Look into yourself, what you can do. Don't just go and become a man because you're in a man's world, and some men want to say that if you have to come here, you have to be like a man. Not at all. You can be a woman, you can be exactly like a woman, and you can still be with a man. And that nothing, like the man's world and all is gone. It's your world, it's our world. It's a man and woman's world. Woman has to give to the man and the man has to give to a woman. And you have to see that when you want something, first you have to give that. If you give that something, you're going to get it from the man, from the woman, from anybody around you. I feel today that there is nothing like, man, woman, we are all one. But yet, if a woman decides, that she wants to become like a man, or a man decides, this is how I'm a little old fashioned in this, there are men nowadays, who they go into women's fashion, they want to wear skirts and saris and they say it's a fashion of today. It's fine, it's all lovely, but I feel no, a sari is meant for a woman, not for a man. That is something that we must all understand, and the woman must understand that she's a woman first, and after that everything else. So you should not forget that. Be a woman first, be caring, be loving, and again, the woman is tough. She's the one. Yesterday I was there at a funeral, and I want to end with this because that's something really, touched me, and I realized something, that we always say the man, is the powerful person and he's a tough man, and that women are soft, and women are, but I was at a funeral yesterday, and this woman's father had died. So she came at that moment. She was out of Pune. She came and she was crying away, like, and everything. And there was her old father-in-law who was there. And he was telling her, and this is in Marathi, I'm going to say, and then give the English meaning. He was telling her, "Tu बाई माणूस आहेस, तू तुझ्या भावांना धीर द्यायचा आहेस." What does it mean? That you are a woman and you are supposed to give support and strength to your brothers just now. What does that mean? That you are the stronger one at this moment. So women are mentally strong. They are supposed to give, strength to the man in their life, whether it's a brother, it's a father, the son, anybody. And I've strongly believed in that, and I've always done it. And what the man has to do, the man has to give. What the woman has to do, she has to give. So let not the woman forget that the men around her need her, and she has to be always there to take care of the men in her life, that little world of hers. It's very, very important.